Hi everyone, I'm Reniel Salombre, and our topic for the day for JED 6 is Responsible Self. Lesson 5, Girders' Theory of Multiple Intelligences. When you hear the word intelligence, the concept of IQ testing may immediately come to mind. Intelligence is often defined as our intellectual potential, something we are born with, something that we can measure, and a capacity that is difficult to change. In recent years, however, other views of intelligence have emerged. One such conception is the theory of multiple intelligences proposed by Harvard psychologist Howard Gardner. So first, visual spatial. Second, linguistic verbal. Third, interpersonal. Fourth, interpersonal. Fifth, logical mathematical. Sixth, musical. Seventh, bodily kinesthetic. And last is naturalistic. Theory of multiple intelligences is this theory suggests that traditional psychometric views of intelligence are too limited. Gardner first outlined his theories in his 1983 book, Frames of Mind. The theory of multiple intelligences we have suggests that all people have different kind of intelligences. So, first, visual spatial intelligence. A visual spatial learners is a student who learn holistically rather than in a step-by-step fashion. Visual imagery plays an important role in the student's learning process because the individual is processing primarily in pictures rather than words. Ideas are interconnected. So, imagining a web. Linear sequential thinking. The norm in American education is particularly difficult for this person and requires a translation of his or her usual thoughts process. So Gardner's definition, spatial intelligence, so kanang kuan picture smart is the capacity to think in image and picture, to visualize accurately and abstractly. So kanay sila tong mga people with high visual spatial intelligence have the ability to visualize and with mind's eyes. They have the potential to recognize and use the pattern of wide space and more confined area. So, kani sila nga mga tao, na sila kuha sila mayo sa visual and spatial judgment. People with visual spatial intelligence can read and write for enjoyment, are good at putting puzzles together, interpret pictures, graphs, and charts as well. So, enjoy drawing, painting, and visual arts. So, they recognize pattern easily. So, ang potential nga career nga ilahang pwede pilion is architect, artist, or engineer. So, second is verbal linguistic intelligence. So, verbal linguistic intelligence. Linguistic. So, students use words effectively. These learners have highly developed Od- od- auditor, auditory skills and often think in words. So they like reading, playing words, playing word games, making up poetry or stories. They can be taught by encouraging them to say and see words and read books together. Tools include computers, games, multimedia, books, tape recorders, and lecture. So, kani nga pag linguistic ka nga tao, nakay verbal linguistic intelligence, may nindot ka, maayo ka sa mga pag-construct of words, may ka nga pagkuan sa mga language and writing. Also, they remember written and spoken information. They enjoy reading and writing. So, mo ni sila ang mga tao. Then, debate or give persuasive speeches. Hilig sila mag-persuade, mahilig magslag mga speech. And are able to explain things well. So, may silag mag-explain. Use humor when telling stories. So, may silag mga storytelling. Ang kani nga mga tao, ilang potential career is writer or journalist, lawyer, and teacher. So, sa ikatulo is logical, mathematical intelligence. So, people who are strong in logical, mathematical intelligence are good at reasoning, recognizing patterns, and logical analyzing problems. These individuals tend to think conceptually about numbers, relationship, and patterns. So, Gardner's definition. Logical mathematical intelligence, so logic smart, is the capacity to use number effectively and reason well. So, muna silang mga people with this intelligence think by reasoning and they love experimenting, question, figuring out logical puzzles, and calculating. So, they are able to identify a problem and solve it right there on the spot. So, may silang mga problem solving. So, kaning mga tao, diri sila maayo. So, maayo sila sa analyzing problems and mathematical operation. Maayo sila mga mathematical operation. So, people with logical mathematical intelligence have excellent problem solving skills. So, maayo silang mag-solve. Enjoy thinking about abstract ideas like conducting scientific experiments. Also can solve complex computation. So, ang potential career nila nga matao is pwede sila mahimong scientist, mathematician, computer programmer, engineer, and accountant. So, next is bodily kinesthetic intelligence. So, bodily kinesthetic intelligence, those who have body kinesthetic intelligence are said to be a good at body movement. So, mga performing actions and physical control. People who are strong in this area tend to have excellent hand-eye cooperation and dexterity. So, mga physical movement, so may sila sports, sayaw, etc. Girders definition. Bodily kinesthetic intelligence or body smart is an expertise in using one's whole body to express idea and feelings. It is the ability to control one's body movement and to handle objects skillfully. People with high body kinesthetic intelligence have to have total body control, sense of timing, a clear sense of the goal of a physical action, an ability to train responses to become reflexes. So, kanina sila nga mga tao, maayo ka sila sa physical movement and motor control. People with bodily kinesthetic intelligence are skilled at dancing and sports, enjoy creating things with his or her hands, have excellent physical coordination, and they remember by doing rather than hearing or seeing. So, may silang mga movement. So, ang potential career nila is dancer, builder, sculptor, and actor. Susunod is musical intelligence. People who have strong musical intelligence are good at thinking in patterns, rhythms, and sounds. They have a strong appreciation of music and are often good at musical composition and performance. So, nindot sila partner sa body kinesthetic intelligence. Magbagay nindot sila partner. Girders definition. Musical intelligence or music smart is the ability to create and appreciate tones and rhythm. Musical intelligent people are able to distinguish the sounds around and can make their own melodies. So, kanisla, mayo kanisla mga kaning nga mataw, mayo ni sila og mga pagkuan og rhythm and music. So, people with musical intelligence enjoy singing and playing playing musical instruments, recognize musical patterns and tones easily. They remember songs and melodies, and also have a understanding of musical structure, rhythm, and notes. So, ang possible potential career nila is they can be a musician, composer, singer, music teacher, and conductor. So, ang sunod is interpersonal intelligence. Those who have strong interpersonal intelligence are good at understanding and interacting with other people. These individuals are skilled at assessing the emotion, motivations, desire, and intentions of those around them. So, Girders definition, interpersonal intelligence, ginatawag pod og people smart is understanding other people, capacity to detect and respond appropriately to the moods, motivations, and desires of others. People with high interpersonal intelligence tend to be extroverts, sensitive to others' moods, feelings, temperaments, and motivations. So, kani sila nga mga taon, they are good at understanding and relating to other people. So, people with interpersonal intelligence can communicate well verbally. Are skilled at non-verbal communication, can see situation from different perspectives, also create positive relationship with others, unresolved conflicts in group settings. So, ato sila. So, ay lahang mga potential career choices is psychologist, philosopher, counselor, salesperson, and politician. So, sunod kay Interpersonal Intelligence. Individuals who are strong in Interpersonal intelligence are good at being aware of their own emotional states, feelings, and motivations. They tend to enjoy self-reflection and analysis, including daydreaming, exploring relationship with others, and assessing their personal strength. So, Gardner's definition: capacity to be self-aware and in tune with inner feelings, values, beliefs, and thinking processes. This intelligence includes having an accurate picture of oneself, awareness of inner moods, intention, motivation, temperaments, and desires, and the capacity for self-discipline, self-understanding, and self-esteem. And essentially, it's how well you know yourself. So, kani sila nga mga tao is introspection, good at introspection and self-reflections. So, people with intrapersonal intelligence analyzing their strengths and weaknesses well. So, they enjoy analyzing theories and ideas and having excellent self-awareness and understand the basis for his or her own motivations and feelings. So, kani sila nga mga tao, ang potential career choices nila, they can be a philosopher, writer, tourist, and scientist. So, ang sunod. So, ang last is Naturalistic Intelligence. Naturalistic is the most recent addition to Girders' theory and has been met with more resistance than his original seven intelligences. According to Gardner, individuals who are high in this type of intelligence are more in the tone with nature and are often interested in naturing, exploring the environment, and learning about other species. These individuals are said to be highly aware of even subtle changes to their environment. So, Gary's definition: ability to recognize and categorize plants, animals, and other other objects in nature. People with high naturalistic intelligence are extremely sensitive to nature, nurturing, and relating information to one's nature surroundings. So, kana silang mga tao is maayo sila sa finding patterns and relationship to nature. People with naturalistic intelligence are interested in subjects such as botany, biology, and zoology. They can categorize and catalog information easily. Enjoy camping, gardening, hiking, and exploring the outdoors. Dislike learning unfamiliar topics that have no connection to nature. So, kanay sila nga matao, ang potential career nila, they can be a biologist, conservationist, gardener, and a farmer. So, that's the coverage of my topic. So, have a great day and goodbye.
Good day, everyone. This is a presentation of a group 3, Contributors to Intelligence. The factors heredity and the environment contribute to intelligence and personality. Heredity refers to the genes one inherits from his or her parents, which provide the upper and lower limits of his or her parents, which provide the upper and lower limits of his or her intelligence quotient. This is the raw biological materials of intelligence. Example of a heredity. If your grandparents and mother's side has a cancer disease, so you and your mother or your siblings, relatives have a cancer disease too, because that heredity means they inherit from the oldest genes. The environment involves the experiences and psychological and physical exposure of the individuals to the various influences around him or her, the home, school, and the community, as well as the things happening therein are examples of one's environment. Examples of one's environment is you see other individual buying some things that trending these days. It's like that. This is one of the examples of the environment. If you have seen the trendings, you will also apply that trends. Motivation. Motivation is the force that moves people to behave, think, and feel the way they do. Psychologists approach the concept of motivation by putting forward theories that seek to explain the levels of motivation individuals, some of which are as follows. Evolutionary Theory. A. Evolutionary theory. According to this theory, the motivation for sex, achievement, aggression, and other behaviors is rooted in organism evolutionary past Bus 2000. This is the definition of evolutionary theory is the area that focuses on further development and refinement of the modern synthesis of evolution and genetics. Theory is based on the idea that all species are related and gradually change over the time. Example, ostriches and ewes evolved to have larger body that fit made for running on land, which left without the ability to fly. Drive reduction theory. B. Drive reduction theory. This theory explains that organisms are driven by psychologists' needs. A need energizes one's drive to eliminate or reduce the deprivation. Drive reduction theory is this is an example of drive reduction theory. If one feels hungry, hunger is the motivator for him or her to look for the food and eat it to reduce the drive and satisfy their need. This is also the example of drive reduction theory. Hall's drive reduction theory. Homeostasis. Drive. Motivation to fulfill needs. Drive reduction theory, developed by Clark Hull in 1943, is a major theory of motivation in the behaviorist learning the theory tradition. Drive is defined as motivation that arises due to a psychological or physiological need. It works as an internal stimulus that motivates an individual to sate the drive. Optimum arousal theory. Optimum arousal theory, the Yerkes-Dodson law, states that performance is at its highest under conditions of moderate arousal rather than high or low arousal. At times, that level of arousal may also depend on the kind of task on hand. Like for example, in solving mathematics problem, a lower level of arousal is preferred because one spends more time to solve is even if process takes longer. Also, human performance curve. Performance. This is the definition of a optimal arousal theory. The optimal arousal theory of motivation states that we seek to attain optimal arousal level because by achieving the optimal arousal level, we can perform at our best. We know that we have reached the optimal arousal level when we are comfortable physically, emotionally, and intellectually. Cognitive approach. Cognitive approach, the temporary view of motivation, emphasized the cognitive factors determine motivation level. And for example, is a student motivation to do well in class, one's confidence in his or her ability to do well, and then expectation for success may help the people relax, concentrate, and study better. Cognitive approach, the study of internal mental processes, the role of schema, the use of theoretical and computer models to explain and make inferences about mental processes, the emergence of cognitive neuroscience. The cognitive approach in physical is a relatively modern approach to human behavior that focuses on how we think. It assumes that our thought processes affect the way in which we behave. The two aspects of cognitive approach to motivation are intrinsic and intrinsic motivations. The former refers to internal factors like self-determination, curiosity, challenge, and effort. The latter involves outside factors such as rewards and punishment. Extrinsic motivation